These are the tales and ramblings of two men, their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This is Monday Morning Food Truck.
What? Okay, all right. There's a fan in the background. Do you hear it?
I don't hear anything.
Oh, great, because it's right up my back and it makes me feel good.
Hey, I like you feeling good, Skippy.
Oh,
If a cool breeze up your backside makes you feel good, then I'm not here to judge, buddy.
hey, a good ball cooler never hurt anybody. I'm telling you what.
I've seen those on TikTok lately. You put them in for your car. It goes right over your vent cover. You're over your vent, and then there's a little hose that goes up your shorts. I think it's genius, and I am very close to having one of those for next year. It is awfully warm driving home some nights.
Yeah. Okay, what do we got? Let's go. Woo!
Lord, well, we are raring to go today. So let's start off with your week, Skippy. Was it better than the week before?
Oh
no.
No. No. I mean, pretty much like every Saturday this month has been nothing but caterings. I'm learning every single time. This past Saturday, I was in the great city of Portland, Michigan, not to be confused with Oregon or Washington, I think. It was people, when they order a food truck or when they book a food truck, need to realize that the food truck / trailer / whatever they're bringing needs some space. So, and I think I'm going to start charging a dirt road fee and maybe call it the off the beaten path fee. No, so it was off like 3 dirt roads, right along the banks of the Grand River.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a nice venue. It was like the bride's parents' house or something like that. Couldn't drive through the yard because, of course, his septic system was right there. So we had to drive along this little narrow road that was no wider than my trailer. That wasn't pruned well. But other than that, had a subdivision that was disappointing. For some reason, they moved barbecue to the kiddie pool because they thought more kids would buy it. I don't know.
And kids have deep pockets,
Kids can afford to ride their bike. That's all that showed up was a bunch of bike riding. What else? So yesterday I had the fastest catering I ever did in the food truck. It was 45 minutes long. Served 80 people in 45 minutes. Pretty proud of myself.
Nice.
And today we got a food truck rally for a high school. Then subdivision. Brewer, 2 breweries, and then 2 days off in a row. Saturday and a Monday, or Sunday and a Monday off.
Nice.
Woo. I'll be damned.
Good for you, bud. I'm happy
We'll finish it strong.
You're working so hard, but allowing yourself to get a couple days in, though. I mean, 9 days in a row is rough.
It's going to be 10, but who's counting?
Whatever. Yeah, you apparently. Yeah, that's a lot. And even working your part-timer type hours, that's a lot in a row.
Really? Wow. Okay. All right. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
And that's the other. I mean, I make fun of you, but it's still very much full time. Past the 5 hours or 4 hours of service time that we do per location or whatever, there's another 12 hours of prep and headache that goes on top of that. So,
sorry, you were saying something. I was sleeping.
Were you nodding off? I'm just trying to defend you or me. I'm not sure which, but
you're trying to defend your comment on me. But
yes,
I'm okay with it. But here, I'm pretty much a one-man show, so everything falls on me.
Okay.
So that makes up for it.
That's kind of the topic I want to talk about today. After we get through our weeks, is what does a typical week look for you? But we'll get to that in a minute. Are you all done with how your week went?
Yeah, I'm good.
So how is August? Is August looking good for you, or just okay? Or not as good as you wanted it?
Better than July, but I took a lot of time off in July for family that came in. Did you just spill all over your? No,
Just a drop.
So, so August, I think, is actually going to be better than July.
That's good.
But I think I don't. I mean, what do I have to really
compare?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all you're looking for is improvement month to month as much as you can, and then is your average day for like days improving, you know?
Yeah, my my end of July was good, which kind of made July worthwhile.
Yeah.
So I think we can finish this week strong. We should be good.
It's always we had that a couple times, well, last year and this year, there where we'd be kind of slow through like July, and then the last week of July we'd be like slamming. We're like, all right, August is going to be great, and then like 4 days in August it just dies. And we're like, well, what the hell? Everybody was not vacationing for a week and a half or something.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out, like, doing this back to school thing today. It's for Western High School. They've got 800 kids in the high school. I'm like, that's better than my like 130 that I went to school with. So, yeah. But it was put together last minute. Like, I just signed up for it last week.
So are they back to school today, or is it they doing like an orientation thing?
So Catholic schools are back to school today. I think public schools.
The Devil Worshippers are back next week or something.
I think public schools are back next week.
Okay. Yeah, it's Michigan's kind of a funny state right now.
Yeah.
Where there is no continuity when school starts from school district to school district. I remember like when I was in school, like everybody started the same week.
Yeah, I mean,
at least that's the way it seemed. But yeah, like you said, your Catholic schools are starting this week, but everybody else is starting next week.
Yeah.
Over here, pretty much everybody's back today. My daughter starts tomorrow, and then my stepkids don't start until next Thursday.
Yeah, when we see like our friends
next Wednesday, yeah,
our competition friends that are like in Indiana, like
yeah.
the Sheets family started like 3 weeks ago. They started the beginning of August. I'm like, I couldn't imagine starting in the beginning of August.
Yeah,
that would
ludicrous.
Yeah. Anyway, how was your week of August? Fun times.
Good. I'm calling it a successful week. I finally got my pickup truck back on Thursday.
Yeah. Oh,
no,
nice.
Friday, yeah, Thursday night, Friday morning, whatever.
Nice and prettied and shinied up and runs beautiful, right?
Yeah, it's got to go into the dealer.
Oh boy.
So I had a bad exhaust temperature sensor. So there's 4 of them in there. The other 3 were reading perfect at like 100 and whatever degrees. And the 4th one that was bad was showing 1800 degrees, which is pretty hot.
Is that what you took on?
Yeah, you just go to the back and stick a brisket back there. It'll be done in a couple hours.
That gives nuclear cooking a new. Ow.
So, which then kicks out errors. The test can't run, blah, blah, blah. All the DEF stuff goes wacky. So that got rid of most of the stuff, but he couldn't clear some of the errors still for the DEF system. So as he was troubleshooting, he says it looks like it needed there was an update, a software update, of course, that needs to be done for that system. And naturally, only dealers can do it.
Naturally.
Yep. So yeah, I have to, I contacted, oh shit, I was supposed to drop that off today, but forgot to call them to cancel my appointment. So yeah, they said it would
you're
probably,
you're going to be priority next time.
Yeah, I'm not going to them anyways. Well, they told me, they said, it's probably going to take a half day, but could take up to a full day. Well, I don't have that to give you right now. So I'm not renting a truck again.
Why don't you just come to my house and plug your little computer in and get her done?
So yeah, there was a different dealership that said, yep, it'll only take a couple hours, and they were $100 less.
Oh.
So now it's just a matter of time finding the day to take it over to them. So
Next Monday works out good.
no, it doesn't.
No.
But next Monday, what's next Monday?
It's your off day.
Oh, well, yeah, it takes coordination, Bert, for me to actually get a day off. You know,
Well, when you marry a sugar mama.
I highly advise it.
Yes, you do.
So anyway, so yeah, I got the truck back. But yeah, as far as our locations last week, they were okay. Like you, we saw kind of a drop in some of locations that were pretty hot. Subdivisions were seemed to be a little bit light. Okay. For that was this week. The mayor, we did one subdivision, first time we've been there. They asked us to come. They were in a neighborhood, so pretty much a subdivision that doesn't have an HOA, but two large subdivisions on each side that they also reach out to when they do food trucks. So it's a 3 subdivision hit. They're right in the middle.
How many houses?
The one on each side was 100, and theirs was like 60. So a potentially fantastic night. Unfortunately, she did not market well or communicate well with the other 2 subdivisions. We were parked in a cul-de-sac, and it pretty much turned into that cul-de-sac's private food truck party.
Oh, they tip you
It was
well?
great. We did okay. It was probably about half of what we expected it to do. We did see a couple people from the other subdivisions, but they begged us to give them another shot, and they would do better now that they understand better kind of what we need from them.
Yeah.
But they had said they had done food trucks before, so I kind of didn't guide them as much as I normally would. So, but it still turned out to be an okay day. Yeah, Thursday was the really weird one where we did about half of what we would normally do at both those locations.
Really?
So the trends were, I mean, pretty consistent every time we go there. And then Thursday was half across the board, lunch and dinner. So I don't know if there was maybe a lot of like back to school orientations type stuff and open houses and stuff that day that people just weren't getting out for lunches or whatever. But I do know that football practices are going in full swing. Fall sports in general are picked up practices that week.
Yeah.
In the last 2 weeks. So there's a lot of that going on, which kind of makes dinner hours really iffy. And then high school football starts this Friday, I want to say.
I think so.
Which, just so you know, well, if you have big football towns like we do over here,
It's dead.
home games in that area are hard, and they're going to be slow nights.
Yeah.
So I'll have to go through, because we do Wiseman, which is Caledonia's big area. They made a run at state last year, so those games are going to be packed. So those nights they have home games are going to be slow for us.
Would it be worth it to, because I thought about this, to try to partner with the stadiums and give them a percentage?
Excuse me. So Caledonia actually reached out to us over the last couple of years, kind of when we were COVID-y and they didn't want to run their concession stands. They tried to get it approved. The boosters tried to get it approved, and it got shot down. Concerns over us driving the trailer into that school set up a little weird where the football stadium is, but it shouldn't have been an issue. I think there was just some underlying other politics going on. But we are doing, this year we're doing a homecoming game for a school. We're setting up for their tailgating thing.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. But yeah, I would love to be able to try to get that. My fear would be the percentage would have to be too high for them. If they want too big of a cut.
What would you?
A lot of the schools over here have money, so they're bringing in like Jets Pizza to hand out.
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A is at a couple of the stadiums.
really.
They're handing out Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Yeah, so they're reselling some quality stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's not gas station hot dogs type stuff at all of them.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think it makes it harder for us to get into those. Now, could we probably go off to some smaller school districts and probably get away with that? I would say so. But then you're such a smaller customer base too that it'd be hard.
Yeah.
So, and then we had a festival Friday, Saturday, which I think we talked about quickly last week. That I was a little bit nervous that I hadn't heard from them. Finally heard from them on Wednesday night, Thursday morning.
That's good.
Yeah. Still pretty nervous when we pulled in on Friday. We got there about 1:00, had to be open by 3. Started out really slow, and then did a couple banging hours from 6 to 8.
Okay.
I think we were done about 9:00, sold out of food.
There you go.
And probably, I mean, the band was going until 11. We probably could have gotten another hour out of it, realistically. And then rain was in the forecast all day Saturday.
Yep.
Scattered. It was like a 60% chance of scattered showers every hour. So we kind of cooked a little bit less, even though they were expecting bigger crowds. And there was no rain.
Yep.
It turned out to be partly cloudy most of the day. I think we had a couple sprinkles, but nothing that was like literally 2 sprinkles here and there. And we ended up pulling out. We were done at 5, I think.
Oh, wow.
Instead of 11. Yeah. And I did not want to be there until 11:00 because
True, but
we turn around. I wanted to be out by 8. So we missed that by a couple hours. So yeah, we had a couple good days there. And then, I mean, it was a long weekend. It was,
so
I don't want to be open till 9.
So what truly impacted, if you could pick one of these items, what truly impacted how much food you brought? The festival itself or the weather?
Day 1, the festival. Day 2 was the weather. So once we had a feel for the crowd on Friday, like I still had food in the cooler. I had extra food. We didn't cook it. We didn't cook everything we planned on cooking for Saturday. So in case Friday was super good, we wanted to make sure we had enough food to sustain Saturday.
Yeah.
But once the weather didn't really change much while we were there Friday, we cooked less. So the lack of communication controlled what we cooked for Friday, and then the weather kind of dictated Saturday.
Do you normally let the weather dictate how much you cook?
Yes, not a lot. I mean, we don't adjust it a lot. Because I mean, it's not like you can cook a half a brisket. So
Yeah.
you know, but and remember, we came off of the previous weekend of having our Saturday festival canceled
True.
on us. So we're like, what's our risk level?
Yeah.
Is there a chance that this one gets canceled too? So we were definitely less food than what we had for the much larger festival, clearly, but
Yeah, we were.
it was an amount that I wouldn't have felt like throwing up if something went weird.
We were about an hour away from you guys, or at least Grand Rapids area, and it didn't start when it rained. It rained, and it was probably about 8:00 at night. Probably 7:30 is when it really started.
Yeah, I was pretty happy we weren't in Grand Rapids on Saturday.
Yeah. The bride basically got out of her dress. This is totally G-rated.
Yeah, sure.
Got out of her dress and said, "I don't care. I'm dancing in the rain. I don't give a crap." And she was dancing. They covered the DJ up, and her and her wedding party were out there busting a move. I guess it was a good time. It was easy. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't charge enough to go all the way up there, but that's another story, another day. But I think it was funny. The 2 food trucks that were there was us and a taco truck. And shout out to Electric Taco. Their tacos are pretty good.
Shout out to them. Their tacos are pretty good.
Yeah. But they were also an hour away. They were from Breckenridge, which is Pleasant area, I think. So yeah, they were an hour away. We were an hour away. It's like, what, they couldn't find anybody local? But sometimes that happens, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there are barbecue trucks in the Lansing area, as you know, but yeah, maybe just book. I mean,
I probably bet it way too short anyway. So anyway,
I'm not saying that doesn't help. I mean, but,
yeah.
Why can't I find? That's so weird. Sorry.
Not looking in the right spot.
I clearly. So yeah, good week. Should have a pretty good week coming up. A lot of subdivisions and good locations, hopefully. So and then we have a giant GM event next Saturday. So anyway, I was hoping to
hold on. Define giant.
So it's at one of their facilities. It's a family
party,
employee and family party, and it's right. So and then we have Metro Cruise that day too, and it's right on the same street as Metro Cruise. So public is invited in, and they're doing bounce houses and stuff for the employees, and everybody's welcome. So they're doing 4 trucks, I think.
Wow.
3, no, I think it's only 2 like entree trucks.
Yeah.
And then ice truck and a dessert truck or some sort.
Yeah.
But they are expecting between just employees and family over 2,000. So, yeah.
Do you ever care what other type of truck is there? Does that influence how much you cook it all to?
Yes. So, I mean, you have to look deeper than just it's 4 trucks. So is it?
No, like the other entree. I'm just talking the other entree.
No. Well, depending on the pizza truck, like if it was another pizza truck, I would look at the pizza truck, and if I know them and their speed of service, then yes, I may cook more, expecting to get more customers than that. Just because it takes some of the trucks just take so long to get food out. Yeah, we were set up next to a pizza truck at a mountain biking event, and they kept stopping taking orders.
Yeah,
because they just weren't, either they weren't prepared or they kept running out of stuff. And every time they stopped, our line got longer.
They can cook the pizzas in 90 seconds, but they got 5 pies in there at once, and then they got to load it, and then it takes. I've gotten to know one of the pizza trucks around here really good, and we talk about it all the time. Like his pizza's really, really good, but the 90 seconds thing, it's just.
Yeah, 90 seconds doesn't sound too bad until you got another 20 pies to get in the oven and there's nowhere to put them.
Yeah.
So, so I mean, a little bit, but not really. If it's like quick service stuff, then maybe I cook a little less, like someone that's just doing like hot dogs or something like that.
Yeah.
Then you kind of go to a more even split of customers, but I don't look too closely at it normally.
Are they paying, or is it how?
Yeah, no, it's a employee pay. So GM's not paying for it.
Hey, still having you out, which is still a good spot.
Yeah, it's a captive audience with just their people plus the extra people. It should be a good day. The weather looks great so far, so it should be a good day.
Good.
But anyways, we're gonna try this single topic thing. See how this works. Try to jump around a little bit less. Try to get these episodes down to, I don't know, 45 minutes to a half an hour would be awesome. I know we've already been recording for a half an hour, but quiet.
I just got here. I don't know what we're talking about.
Just got here. So Skippy, what does your normal work week look like? What does your schedule look like for the week? So let's start with a Monday, because we're on Mondays.
Normally, I followed your lead. Normally, I take Mondays off. Normally, refresh, try to clean up the house for the wife, make sure she doesn't have to do it, and then figure out what my schedule is for the rest of the week as far as what do I need to go buy. Do I need to buy it now? Do I need to buy it later? How many times do I need to go to Gordon's and Sam's for the week? It's really a day of planning, and then that's my Monday. And then most of the events that I do during the week are from like 4 to 8.
Okay, so what time are you waking up in the morning?
Uh,
Let's start there.
4 o'clock
AM?
a.m.
Just making sure.
Okay, 3:15. I get it.
3:30.
I thought it was 3:15. I thought you said you got 15 minutes. You got up 15 minutes earlier.
Well, yeah, but that was when I had to drive to the trailer. Now I just had to roll out of bed and stumble downstairs and walk outside.
That's true. Anyway, so yeah, so with the new pit, I'm getting up between, I'm going to say between 3 and 4 to light it up, and then meat no later goes on at 5. I'm hot and fast, cooking at 325, 350, somewhere on there. Kind of feeding wood all day. Since I don't have a warmer, like an electric warmer, I pretty much do my mac and cheese, or I do the big meats first. Once the big meats are done, make the coleslaw and mac and cheese, and the mac and cheese kind of sits in the smoker until I get to my event. When I get to the event, I will reignite the wood that's in the smoker so I can get the ambiance of the smell. And then just kind of rock it out. So during the week, it's just subdivisions or breweries, unless I do like a lunch service every once in a while, but I'm not big on those. Unless they're fully paid for, then I'll do them. But as of right now, that's pretty much what I've been doing.
So what time are you hitting bed?
10
So you're about 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours a night.
ish. If my mind shuts off.
So you and I are getting about the same amount of sleep.
I feel like I'm not. I feel like, honestly, I feel like I am not getting any sleep at all. I'm not a morning at all.
You would think with you cooking hot and fast that you'd be able to like get some more sleep.
Well, I can tell you it's gone. No, because I'd rather be done with everything by like noon and kind of take a minute, make sure everything's good. Like you know me, I'm notorious for forgetting something.
Mm-hmm.
But yesterday for the catering gig, I forgot a gallon of sauce, and I didn't have enough sauce on the trailer. So I had to ask my wife, who was her day off, to bring me sauce so I didn't have to leave the event. Luckily it was local. So, but I've been going these last 5 months without using a checklist and just trying to use my memory, and my memory is horrible. So it's more of making sure that if I can have an hour to plan for how long it's going to take me to get there and all that sort of stuff, then I'll rather get everything done as early as I possibly can. Yeah. Which means I probably should cook overnight, but I'm not.
What has really helped us, Skippy? So you remember our little whiteboard that we had that we would write down stuff that we needed?
Yep.
We've gone away from that. It wasn't good enough. So now we actually have a laminated stock list that's just dry erase and mark. As soon as we run out of something, we just mark it. Whether we need it from storage or we need it from shopping or from the store.
I need to make one.
It works great as long as it's used.
Well, especially when I'm the only one. I'm the only one to go shopping. That's.
Well, yeah.
I envy you having Chris because you guys can both go do something. I can't. So it's more. I have to hope the wood in the smoker lasts an hour so I can run the cords real quick.
Well, yeah, and so I guess that's kind of where I want to get into like more granular of your day. So what? Oh. So you're cooking in the morning. Your meat's on at 5. Are you running to Gordon's every day?
There are times that if I'm out of
most days. I mean,
probably 3 days a week at least.
Yeah,
it's 10 minutes away, so it's not like I'm going. I go in, get out. Problem is, I have a one-track mind, and I still have missed things.
I can't go off memory ever. I have to at least make myself a paper list before I go because I won't remember everything. So do you go when you're cooking then typically? Yeah. You want to make sure that you leave that afternoon time free almost?
Just because I don't want to rush around. And I'd rather rush while something's getting done than rush and then somehow be back. I'm like, fuck, I was supposed to leave half hour ago, I want to as much time as possible because I've been bit by traffic lately.
Right. So do you think that's a downfall then of how you cook? We'll go on the hot and fast with the outlaw is that it's harder to be gone for an hour and a half.
Yes. Well, and I think that's why Mondays, I've taken on more Mondays lately, where I think Mondays definitely need the day off. So Mondays, I'll typically go and get all the meat I need for the week, if possible. And then if I need to go get something, it's something small, something quick. I'll get, all the noodles for the week. I'll get, whatever I can for the week on a Monday. And then, like I said, if I need to go to the store, it'll be for something small.
Are you doing the online ordering yet for GFS?
No.
They haven't gotten you an account yet?
No, I can do it. I've done it once, and I'm still always scared that I'm going to forget something.
Are you at least you're getting your points then, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
I got like $100 and something the other day off my bill. Like, woo.
Well, next year, don't take the discounts every time you go in. Save your points. Save your points.
Oh, okay.
You get to 94,000 or whatever, and you get $1,000 check.
True.
So I just got I was hoping I was going to be able to get 2 this year, but I'm going to be at about 1 3/4, I think is how it's going to shake out. I got too much meat from Costco.
So yeah, I just want to make sure, like I said, just if I need to go to the store, it's for something small and quick, and most of the meats here. I'll go to the store for meat probably twice a week.
Okay. Do you shop around a lot, or you're always getting it at the same places? Are you checking Meijer sales every week to see where their prices on pork?
Yep.
And do you abide by their limits that they put on it?
Nope. No, because I'll normally go to the guy and ask for a case, and he's like, "Okay."
Yeah, I've been told no on cases.
Go to a different Meijer.
Yeah, well, luckily I have a lot of them near me. But yeah, they are not all equal. That I know. I've seen different prices on pork, like the per pound at 2 different stores within the 5 miles of me.
Oh, I've seen it 99 cents and then $2.
Yeah.
That's like Meijer is where I was getting briskets when I first started, because their cab was like $4 a pound.
Yeah.
And they'd order you whatever you wanted.
Yeah, they had, when they run their prices on their brisket, the sales on briskets, I will get it from them because it's a pretty quality choice brisket compared to what you get at GFS. So
and they're always big. What I find at GFS isn't big.
No,
I got a little cow tongue the other day. It was literally like, I don't know. I cut the whole thing up, and I probably had yay big.
Yeah, I got one of those in a case from Costco. It was like tucked in the corner. I was like, what the hell is this? You just kind of stick it in the pan with the other one and kind of make it part of the brisket.
Little flank steak.
Well, yeah, someone at Costco gave us a case of flats on accident. Luckily, they gave us the right price. But yeah, you just kind of stick 2 in a pan together and make a whole brisket. But
yeah, I got that before. Our Sam's is getting good. There is somebody else. I don't know who it is. I'm becoming friends with our acquaintances, well known. I'm buying cases over there. Mm-hmm. So they'll tell me, all I'll do is go up to them. They'll look at me and they'll either tell me, yes, they have them, or no, they don't. I'll typically go to Sam's first for brisket. If they don't have it, then I'll go to Gordon's. I got a case of prime cab from Gordon's the other day. It was kind of weird. It was just there.
At the regular brisket price?
Yep. That's
always a nice treat.
Yeah. Well, it always says choice or higher on the little tag.
Yeah.
So thanks for putting the higher in that box for me. But I find Gordon's is not as heavy. They're like 55, 60 pound cases.
Yeah.
But I find that Gordon's butts are 80 pounds. I got like the one I got yesterday was a 78.
Yeah.
And I'd love to go to one place, but if I can get, better at another, I'll have to go to the other.
Yeah.
And then I just go to Sam's, do my scan and go, and easy in, easy out.
How often are you replying to emails and social media as quickly as you can, or are you Does that
Uh,
get saved for a day?
I have a signature line that says, thank you for your email. I will respond within 24 hours.
Okay.
So social media, I try to get to as fast as possible, but emails are 24 hours or less.
Okay.
And I just got my first negative review.
Like a real negative review?
No, it was on Square. It was the Square negative review. Do you know they can do that?
I guess.
So when they choose to text message or email the receipt, if you look at the receipt, there's a how is the service today?
Right. And that's all happy face or sad face. Yeah.
Correct. But they can also type in a response.
Do you want to share it?
I can. Yeah, it's fine. They just said that the amount of brisket I gave was a third of what the portion size that they thought it was. And that the coleslaw side, because I use the 3 compartment containers for meals, didn't look big enough for what they paid for the meal. So it was about portion size. So I responded. I said, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you for the feedback. Next time I'm in town, feel free to come up, show me this, and I'll make it right in any way that I possibly can. So we'll see if they do.
Yeah. I've only had a couple, like some people have sent a couple of Facebook messages and yep, we've been a lot of times and food was a little colder than normal, or we talk about cold buns in the spring.
Yeah.
It's always been that private. We have never gotten an actual negative review, and I don't think Square doesn't count anywhere anyway. So
it doesn't, but I've gotten a bunch of positive reviews through Square.
Yeah, I wish those would go out somewhere. Like
I talked to my account representative that I have somewhere, and he says, sorry, we don't do that. I'm like, well, you need to start doing that.
Oh, sorry, sir.
And no, he's probably Canadian.
Oh, hey, sorry about your inconvenience.
Hey, we can send you in Labatt. No, other than that, yeah. So I try to go to the store for small things.
When do you do your banking?
What's banking?
You know, taking money to the bank.
I don't. Here's the thing. So I'm trying to.
Good God.
No, it doesn't go to the bank.
This seems so shady.
No, when I need to make my mortgage payment, then I send it to money to the bank. No, I'm not paying myself, so I live off the cash that I receive. Okay. So I'm just stacking cash in the safe.
All right.
If I need to, I use the Square debit card for all my work purchases.
So even your credit card stuff's not going to the bank? You don't have a business bank account?
Yeah, through Square.
Okay.
Hey, it's a good APY.
All right. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a regular bank account though. I mean, oh my gosh, you can do like set up automated payments and stuff on it. Do you not have monthly bills for your business?
I can send money from there to another bank if I want to.
Well, so like I can put my credit card or my bank card into.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do that.
It works the same way. Okay.
But I have my truck payment get sent through there. Yeah. And then cash goes to the bank to make the mortgage payment. And the wife pays the other bills.
All right.
Just saying.
Okay. Well, all right. So you don't go to the bank?
Not really. I mean, once a month to pay the mortgage.
Whatever.
I know. I'm just full of throwing you for loops. I mean, it's just what I do. When do you find time to do your banking? I check my Square account every day. How about that? Just checked it before we got on here. Make sure it was still there. You know.
Oh, that's good. No, I will. I'm heading there after we're done here. Well, Mondays usually. Drop off deposit for all my cash. Sometimes I go 2 weeks before I go to the bank, depending on how cash heavy sales were. But
so if you weren't paying yourself, would you still do the same thing?
Yeah.
what do you live on? Just the sales?
And no, I would cut myself a check out of the business account in cash. So that way there's a proper transaction from the business to me
There's a paper trail.
versus embezzlement.
Well, if I'm the only one part of the business, there's not embezzlement.
Is if your business is an actual entity,
I can't embezzle for myself.
sure you can. You can embezzle from the company you own.
But if I'm the only owner / employee /
That just means no one's going to turn you in.
head dishwasher, I mean,
That just means no one's going to turn you in. Yeah. I just
probably should edit this out.
No, it's a good conversation to have though, because it's. I mean,
I don't know. I thought that there was so
so
much.
what are you gonna? You're just reporting then your business income as. Yeah, I got what you're saying.
Everything goes into Square. I mean, so
Right.
there's transactions for everything that goes in there.
Right.
So, yeah,
Except for cash.
no, it's still a transaction. Still shows cash
Right,
sales.
right. It still shows as a sales number, but the cash doesn't go into Square. It just shows as that was your total sales number or
No.
cash collected.
No, it says cash collected.
Well, yes, but it's not in your bank account. It's not in your Square bank account. Is what
No,
I'm
it's
saying.
in my safe bank account.
Yes, I understand. Oh my God.
Just because it's not FDIC insured, is that what it is?
I understand that there is a transaction there for cash coming in. It's the cash going out part that you don't have any proof of. Right?
Oh, going out. So going out of the business to somewhere else.
Yes.
Do I need proof of that?
I guess it depends on what you're paying for. Are you paying for business expenses outside of that account or your pay? So it would be technically an owner distribution.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a distribution, but
Right.
it's
But again, since you're the only owner currently, and you claim your sales or your gross or your net, sorry, rather, your net sales as your income or your net, whatever, you know what I'm saying? On your taxes, when your taxes come, you're gonna have your net in there as your income. Anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Your
sure.
business net. So it's all gonna get reported the same for you.
Oh, yes. I mean, I think so. Find
I
out
don't
what you
know. There's a good chance I'm gonna end up in federal prison at some point in time, so. I'm fairly certain none of my taxes have been done right yet.
we'll figure out when we get to that point, I guess. I don't know. As long as they just hired 85,000 IRS agents.
Yeah, that makes me nervous.
I'm just waiting for one of them. Starting to train the dogs. My 16-year-old Shih Tzu's a dickhead. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's fine. I guess I'm just listen. Our first couple of years, yeah, I took cash out of the business to pay for some things too. You know, it's mine, right? It's your money, technically.
Sounds like a JJ Wentworth commercial. It's your money. Get it now.
Get it now. Exactly what I did. So, and that's pretty. I mean, yeah, you're just. Yeah,
I used it to buy the smoker. I used it to, for business items sometimes. But.
Yeah. I'm probably trying to make it more complicated than it has to be.
Yeah, you're purposely scaring me. Like I need to be.
Oh no, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to understand.
I'm going to Google about business money and all that shit now.
I don't think you need to. I think you're fine.
Only reason I did it. Only reason I think everything is okay is in 15 years of doing mortgages, I've dealt with a lot of people's tax returns.
Right.
And as far as seeing where things go, if they record total sales and then everything goes down from there, it's not like if you're an entity or if you're a S corp or a corporation, on your business returns, your partnership returns 1120s or 1060s. Anyway,
it's TurboTax.
you'll have like sales, but then you'll have cash.
Right.
You have to do cash. I think on a Schedule C, unless I just give a profit and loss statement to my CPA, which happens to be me, and
You're a CPA?
no,
Oh.
I've just done tax. But nobody, I mean, I'm not gonna say nobody will know, but Square's gonna send me my 10 whatever it is. And
Right. Yeah.
that's what I use for everything, and then write off as much as possible.
So yeah, I guess, I don't know. I guess my thought was I'm always looking at where the business is going to be at some point. So I'm trying to act like we're already there.
First of all, I hate checks, so I never want to write myself a check just so I can cash my own check.
Right.
'Cause
I know it seems like a stupid extra step.
but it's bookkeeping, and
Yeah.
I get, and I think if with you have what, 2 partners, minority
No,
owners?
4
Three.
now. 4. Yeah, we're up to 4. So 4 plus me.
So they have all record, or they can ask for all records of your business.
Yep.
So that for you, that would make more sense than
Yeah.
for me, who is sole everything and, like I said, head dishwasher and owner, probably isn't as needed, maybe.
Right.
Because if I'm the one at the end of the day doing my own bookkeeping, then if I wanted to, at the end of the year, if I have X amount of dollars in cash and I want to write myself a check, then I absolutely could.
Well, that's exactly what I'll do.
Yeah.
Is at the end of the year, I mean, hopefully, you write yourself a distribution from your profit for the year.
But I think you could also do that for the whole year.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to take your whole paycheck at the end of the year, you probably could.
Yeah.
If that's the way it is. I think every small business owner should take like an entrepreneurship 101 class, because I think it would have helped me learn more about the business side of things than just coming to your truck and working with you for a day.
Well, that's what we're here for, Skippy. I want to dive into, I mean, like this kind of conversation is perfect,
Yeah.
Because I mean, not only are we probably going to get told how absolutely horribly wrong we are on all of that financial stuff, but we can
We'll have it out.
Yeah, and then we can learn about it. And if there's a CPA that's watching or listening, hey, we can have them on and have them tell us what we're not doing right and how we should be doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
How to stay out of prison.
Yeah, 101.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to go to prison. I wouldn't do well. I'm very soft and I have very soft lips and hands, Skippy. I wouldn't do well. Oh, Skippy. It's the longest night of his life.
Okay. I need to go get a bubbly now.
Are we taking a bubbly break?
So yeah, going back to wherever we mainly, so banking.
Well, yeah, I was just asking you questions about when you get stuff done during your week, because you kind of flew through your week, and
at the end, so
and here I am thinking, God, every one of my days is full, just about.
You do double the business I do. I would expect you to be full.
I don't do double the business necessarily. I
You
have
double
double the
the
location,
sales.
not double the sales.
No,
Where are you going to be at? Okay, if you're fine with it, where are you going to be at for August? For the month, projected. Your best guess.
25.
See, I'm not going to be double you.
Pretty damn, but
I will be about 42, probably.
yeah. Okay. So sorry. 1.5 times.
Yeah, but I'm doing twice the locations. I'm open for twice as long as you are.
Exactly. So I would expect your days, like I would expect you need 3 people like every day to run. Like I was there, you or Chris and I worked the truck where you went to Costco and got ribs and brisket and butts, or whatever. I also don't sell half the stuff you do. I don't do ribs.
Yeah.
But I mean, you do wings. I don't do wings. You do, chicken every once in a while. I hate doing chicken. I don't know why. I also don't have a warmer, which is going to change here shortly. So
Good. Yeah, that will help things for you a lot, I think.
well, I have to get my electrician over here to get me a plug so I can actually plug into at least 30 amps to be able to run the warmer in the first place.
Yeah.
But that's happening Friday. I'm kind of moving the trailer around. And of course, at the end of the season, why not move the trailer around? But yeah, so a lot of what goes into my week too is what did I do the day before? I second guess myself a lot. I'm my own worst critic. Was the food as good as it was the day before? Do you taste your food?
Every day.
So I started doing that lately and saw some changes.
Yeah.
I actually think the Outlaw gives a better flavor, but it's subtle. It's not as.
You know, it's more because you're using wood versus charcoal.
I'm still going through a shit ton of charcoal.
Yeah.
I got to call Jay about that and figure out what I'm doing wrong, because I'm using probably 15 pounds a day. Because once the wood is in there, like, you can't just keep it going with wood. You have to have a coal base, which requires more charcoal being put in there every single time.
But
And
okay, go ahead.
And it's just annoying.
All right.
So there might be something I'm doing wrong, which is fine. I get that. But if I want to be at one temperature and I can't just put more logs in there to get to that one temperature, like, it's just not going to go.
Yeah.
And then finding a firewood person. Yeah.
So you just picked up a whole bunch, so that's good.
Picked up a whole bunch finally. Nice retired couple out of Coldwater, burn rate professionals. There's our plug. But they brought me a load of cherry. Showed
And
up.
make sure you once we post this video, make sure you tag them in it.
Yes. They showed up. They delivered it for me from
Mhm.
Coldwater. It was like an hour. He's like, I looked on the outside of the pallet. Everything was great. Once I dumped it in here, everything looked horrible. I'm like, okay. He's like, but I brought it so you can look at it. If you don't like it, I'm not dropping it off. And I said, well, I need some.
Mhm.
I took some of the good pieces out. He's like, I'll tell you what, I have a load of hickory that's at like 16% moisture. I'm like, I can put it in the firebox. We're okay. All right. Can you bring that tomorrow? This was a Friday. Looks at his wife. He's like, can we come out Saturday? Wife's like, yeah, we can come out Saturday. So they showed up at 9:00, stacked it all for me. Money well spent. I had to, it's bigger split, so I have to cut them down with a saw, but
Yeah.
still the amount of service that they gave just me was fantastic. So anybody that uses them, I hope you'll get just as good service. Just an older couple. I mean, I think been married 61 years. They're 80 something years old, and they just stack wood. They own I think 60 acres at a lake.
Okay.
They own 30 acres is alfalfa, and the other 30 is lakefront property. I'm like, must be doing okay.
Yeah. So you started tasting your own food. Yeah, I have macaroni and cheese for breakfast every morning. I have a small macaroni and cheese after I make it every morning. That's my breakfast. And then, yeah, I will have pork brisket and that last end nub of ribs every day. Just to make sure that we're putting out consistent every day. And for the most part, it is. I mean, you always get every once in a while, I mean, pork will just takes on other flavors, seems to be well. So whether that's, charcoal is a little damp or whatever, it's just something that happens, or there'll be some variance. The variances in pork seem to be, a little bit more than anything else. But it's never in that way. I mean, if it's bad, then we don't use it,
Yeah. If it doesn't taste like if I go out to a barbecue restaurant or something, the last thing I look at is pulled pork.
Yeah.
I just, for some reason, don't want to, I don't even want to touch it. So if it's something that I'll eat, then I know it's good. And
Yeah.
So
yeah, the other thing I look for in pork is every once in a while, but it'll get a little hot. Those that say you can't screw up pork they're wrong. I mean, it's not that hard.
you can mess it up.
In those Gravity feds, you got some hot spots in there, and our back right corner is one of those spots. So if it gets a little too close to that hot spot, all the water will evaporate out of the juices because we cook in pans. And then the rub and the grease is what's left, the fat, and then it just burns. And then you end up with a half deep fried pork butt, which sounds awesome, but it's not. It's pretty terrible, actually. And it doesn't happen often. And sometimes there's various levels of that. So, I'm looking for any flavor of that. But I will usually know when I pull those off and drain the juice off if we have one of those situations. But yeah, I try to taste everything every day just to kind of have an idea of where we're at. And that way, if someone says, and we get asked this a lot, especially lately, what's better today, pork or brisket? And it's nice to be able to give them an informed opinion versus what do we have more of left right now? That pork's not really been going today. Tell them pork.
Doesn't that back you in a hole?
No.
Like what's better today?
That's people that recognize that not every pork butt and not every brisket cooks the same.
Well, true, but it's like,
don't you have better brisket days than others? And that's nothing to do with the cook, but the pieces of meat that you have, some are just better.
Yeah, if I have to cook a choice versus a prime, there's a difference.
Yeah, so I think that's part of our education of our customers is that not everything is exactly. Some days pork is better than brisket. The fat content in the brisket is high, so it's a little bit drier. And I'll be completely honest with every one of them.
We're gonna get some hate tweets on that one, or hate mail on that one. I don't know. I believe it. As bad as it sounds, I always tell people when they ask what's better, pork or brisket. The girl that works with me, she likes pork better, and I like brisket better.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if my brisket's dry that day or not, I still like it better. So I'm going to tell them, she's a pork girl, I'm a brisket guy. So she's like, well, is your brisket good? I'm like, I'm a sales guy. Of course I'm going to tell you it's good. It's up to you. So then I end up giving out like a little sample just to see, okay, do you like it? I don't want him to, I don't want him to feel bad. Like if you're going to purchase something, purchase it. If you're not,
So I think there's two different questions there though. What's better today or what's better? So if they just ask us what's better, like it's a new customer or whatever, and they're like, I'd like a loaded mac. What's better, what's better, pork or brisket? We'll almost always say brisket. Chris has this whole, spiel that he says, he's like, well, we cook more pork. So that's usually what I have on the truck. But every once in a while, I like to treat myself with the brisket because it's better. So he really sells it as a treat, brisket is the better cut of meat, but generally. So it all depends on how they phrase the question and how we answer it.
It makes sense.
Whenever, see ya. So yeah, and then they ask, we get asked for what is our favorite thing. And Chris and I aren't always on the same page. And so we'll give them Chris's favorite, my favorite, and then what is our best seller. Because those are three different things.
What is your best seller?
Loaded mac and cheese.
With what?
Well, brisket over pork.
Really?
Yeah, but we combine the two as a single item when we're doing our counts. Because really, we sell more loaded mac and cheeses than anything else.
Yeah.
When you split it in half for brisket and pork, then our piglet has overtaken the loaded mac and cheese with brisket, but by like 20. Yeah, and that's only because of festivals. The two festivals we've done lately, we sold like 70 piglets on a week ago Friday. It's a lot. That's a lot. Normally we sell like 12 a day.
Yeah. No,
that's kind of how festivals go. It's our cheapest option, so we sell a lot of them. And we still sold a shit ton of loaded mac and cheeses, but I can't sell 70 loaded mac and cheese. I don't have that kind of mac and cheese on the truck. And that even on that Friday, we had 16 half pans of mac and cheese. I still can't sell 70. We went through all of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
You doubled what you normally could.
Mhm.
Wow. Congratulations. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good day, and we could have done a lot more. So now next year I got to figure out how to triple that batch and have space to keep it on the trailer hot.
Good thing you got 4 burners.
Well, yeah, so that's the problem, is keeping those extra 8 pans of mac and cheese hot. So,
Well,
and we
don't
can keep it in the smoker, but at some point in time we have to start cooking meat for the next day. So it's a weird.
increase your temp. I know how you feel about it, but
Yeah, no.
you use, hold on, put them in the smoker, but use those ones first.
Yeah, I get it.
Then you can do it. Anyway, you know more than I do.
Anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up for the day instead of continuing to get sidetracked. I guess next week we'll talk about what my week looks like.
Wow, this was an episode almost about me.
I know.
This is great.
Well, we got a whole half-hour sidetracked, and I asked you about when you go to the bank.
I told you.
Well, I hit the mattress every other day, and then there's a lazy boy down in the basement. That's for the bigger deposits.
You're funny.
Okay. You don't have to trust banks. It's all right.
I don't trust banks. I worked for them. Hate every second of it.
All right. Next week we'll dive into what's that?
It's all fake anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's all just transactions, ones and zeros. It's not real money. Next week we'll dive into what my average week looks like. Hopefully it doesn't take an hour to get through that.
You are talking.
Not this week, but hope you have a good week, Skippy. We'll be back in another week for episode 6, I think, closing in on double digits for episodes. Listenership is going up, so that's good. Catch us everywhere. You can find us social medias again at PB&J's of Michigan.
At PBJs of Michigan, and then PBJs_BBQ on Instagram.
Yeah, just Google Sweet Racks and Smoking Butts. You'll get us all in the first 4 Google searches. Suck it. And then, of course, Monday morning food truck on Facebook. We're still working on getting some additional content up there, right, Skippy?
Yeah, again, if there's anything that you want to hear about, anything that you want to know about, please let us know. Message us, comment on the links, send us smoke signals. Haha, barbecue fun. We'd love to. I've gotten a bunch of feedback. It's good so far, so more the merrier.
Absolutely. Good talking to you, Skippy. We'll talk to you next week.
Woo!
Bye.